Happy Friday to you all. I hope you guys have been keeping well, taking care of yourselves as always. Thank you guys so much for being here on the Mindset Elevator, supporting the Mindset Elevator in all the ways that you guys do. Always appreciative, always happy to be on here and to spit that real talk. All right, everybody, because that's what it's all about. The Mindset Elevator is about going up and about being honest and letting it be known, like the real nitty gritty of the world, the real nitty gritty of our circumstances. So, hey, hey, India, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Thank you, India. Always nice to see you. Always nice. Hey, Brian, haven't seen you here for a minute. Hope you're doing awesome as well. Hey, India. Hey, Brian. Thank you guys so much for supporting. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you for the high vibes. All right. Thank you guys for the awesome energy and taking the time out of your days, right? Always got to express that gratitude because I really am thankful. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yep. Hey, Robert. Hope you guys are doing awesome. This stream is going to have an interesting theme because, and I think a lot of us probably have experienced something like this, where you have established people. These people are established, right? These individuals that I'm talking about today are esteemed. They have accolades. They have their own flexes. They have their own abundance. They're successful. They're educated. They've been doing their own thing. So why would it be that these same people who seem to have it all, right? Why would they be jealous of you, right? Like, why would they be hating on you or watching you extra hard, what you do, right? Or the accolades you have or the abundance you're getting into? Why would they care? That's the prevailing, question. Why would they care? Why do they care so much about how you move or what you're coming into if they're already well established, if they're already well seasoned, in their field, in their line of work, in their lives? These can be older heads, right? Who've been through it all. They've been dealing with life. They have a lot. They've been having a lot, but they're watching you, right? Yep. Hey, Lou, Pam, you said from the Netherlands. Hi, nice to see you. Alejandro says, Chicago in the house. Nice to see you from Chicago. David from New York. Thank you guys. And David says, the light that we have, there's no doubt. There is no doubt that, you may not have a lot to your name, right? By way of material, but you have that heart, you have that spirit, you have that light to you, right? It's like even the most esteemed people in society or the most esteemed people around us, like they've been having their own thing going on. And perhaps you always clap for them or you were always happy for them. You could respect it. You could respect the grind, what they've been hustling for. So why are they so bent out of shape about you? Every single time you get a little leg up in life or you're getting a little nicer in life, you get more nice things and you're getting higher, more accolades. These individuals are acting vexed, like you should not be getting higher or you should not be getting more or you should not be happy. You should not be able to travel, even though they travel multiple times a year. Like, what's the issue? You've probably seen it. Like, these individuals are living their best lives, it seems, right? But a lot of the times, there is probably something in their life that is lacking, something in their life that is not up to par, right? Something in their life that they feel isn't actually good, isn't actually enough. But when they see you, they're reminded that you have a few things that they don't have. You have a few things that they wish they had, right? You have that heart, you have that spirit, you have that humbleness that perhaps they lack in, right? Like they can be very successful, but they're not very humble. Perhaps their success came from them stepping on a lot of people and not being humble and thinking they're better than everybody else, stepping on everybody else and not going about it in a humble fashion, right? But then when you get your accolades or when you are going on your come up, they kind of see that you went about it in a different way. You don't have to do the flashy things. You don't have to add all this extra flair and fluff. You just do you. You go up in life the way you want to go. And you don't have to do all the extra stuff. You don't have to put the theatrics in there. You just do you, right? And so it's very attractive, and it has even the most established people bent out of shape. It has even the most successful educated individuals. We're talking about scholars. We're talking about people who have been trying their best in life. A lot of the times they're very happy, very accomplished in whatever it is that they do, but they're still hating on somebody like you. It could even be like a workplace situation where even the supervisor, right? Even the manager feels intimidated by you, or feels like they want to compete with you, or they want to try to size you up or one up you. But this is the individual who is already in a top spot. They are in the spot that is most favorable to them. So why are they so pressed about you being a salesperson? You know, like, why are they so pressed about you and your climb? Why are they so pressed about you when you're not even at the position that they're at yet? It's because of that spirit. It's because of your attractiveness, right? It's because you have a different aura than them. You have a different way of living life than them. You don't have to do what they do. And perhaps you don't abuse your position. You know, it could be something like that, where at the position that you're in right now, you're humble with it. You don't take it for granted. You don't take it as a joke. You respect the climb. You respect your resources. You use your time wisely. You use everything at your disposal. There's a level of respect that you put on that. And it's kind of like, well, people know that your climb is real. Like, you just go about things in a more authentic way. Whereas maybe people, once again, these esteemed individuals, they do not go about life humbly. You know, they kind of think, I'm the top dog, I'm the top boss, nobody could touch me, nobody could hurt me, nobody's gonna take my spot. And they move in life in this way, kind of like bullies, workplace bullies, family bullies. Like, people who think they're like the head of the family, or people who think that they're the head of that company, and they start behaving like everybody beneath them is nothing or no one, right? And so when they see you, and keeping in mind, they really believe this. They really believe that they are higher than everybody else, and that, and they're not fully wrong. Like, they have accomplishments, you know, they do have a lot of accolades under their belt. It's not like they don't have nothing to show, but it's kind of like when they're beside somebody like you, or when they encounter somebody like you, they feel insecure because they realize that the way that they've lived life, or the way that they've come into their blessings, you have a different flair. Like, you go about life in a whole different fashion. And it seems like maybe you're more innovative, or maybe the way that you grind, maybe the accolades you have could be completely parallel to theirs. But it's kind of like, how do I explain it? It's like, you know, they're intimidated by the growth that they know is going to come into your life, you know, if that makes any sense. Like, you could be at the bottom compared to a lot of these giants, right? But still, they feel it that you are a different individual. And when you get there, when you get to that pinnacle of your life, you're somehow going to overshadow their accomplishments, or their hard work, or all of their accolades are going to go unnoticed, or going to be ignored now, because they see your potential, you know, and they see your heart, and they know you have a good heart and you come from a good place. So they're kind of like, oh, wow, like, me being in this top position, yeah, I have people who fear me and who respect me, but maybe I don't have people who like me. Maybe I don't have people who could have a decent conversation with me. Like, you're more humble, you have more love, you have more peace, you have more of a humble approach to life, a humble approach to your grind, to your climb. So it could be like that for sure. Right, Cam, nice to see you. You said they worried about something that hasn't happened yet, but they know that it's coming. Yep. Mm-hmm. You see, I've met a lot of very, very successful individuals in my life, people who I know pretty well. And, there's a lot of things to be happy and proud of them for, right? But at the same time, I have noticed some of these individuals, when I talk about what I'm trying to do, or when I talk about what I'm trying to build, they move like they have a problem with that. They act like what I'm trying to do is something that's bigger than me and I can't do it because what they've done, they've been able to do it and it was not easy, which they may not be lying, but it's like, why are you trying to put me in the same league as you? Why are you trying to compete and compare? It does not work, right? I've met a lot of people who have worked for years and years in their field, and they've become very solid people in society. They're respected, They have a lot of seniority. They've been doing what they do. So when they start seeing certain things that I'm trying to build or I'm trying to come out with, they shut it down, or they act like I'm not going to be able to do it, or they even try to sometimes discourage me from trying to do what I want to do. And it's like, why are you so concerned about if I go up if you're already up? Like, you're up, enjoy that. Aren't you happy with what you've got? Like, aren't you happy with all of your success? Why are you so pressed? Why are you so concerned if I go up now? Like, why can't I go up too? Why can't I have a brilliant mind too? Why can't I be studious? Why can't I get more abundance too? Right? And there's this tit for tat competitive nature that you're going to start seeing from people, but it's a mismatch. It doesn't seem to make sense. It doesn't seem to add up. I mean, these are people who have been doing the work. They have their own blessings. So why are they so overly concerned, right? It's the jealousy of your spirit. It's the jealousy of your heart. A lot of these individuals, they don't have your heart. They would not do what you do with love at the forefront, A lot of these individuals, unfortunately, they identify with their credentials. They identify with, it's not about the love, or it's not about the joy of the work, or being a nurturing individual in that family. They don't look at it like that. They look at it like, I've been here, I've been through the mud, I've been doing my thing, and now I'm just going to be respected. Like, just by default, everybody's going to respect me. Everyone's going to fear me because I've been doing this for a very long time. And they start thinking in a way where it's like, they don't care about the love. They don't care about if people actually enjoy their company. They care to be feared, or they care to be respected, but they don't do anything particular to be respected for besides their work. Like, they cannot remove themselves. They cannot step outside of themselves and be humble, That's what I'm really trying to convey. Like, these individuals may be very successful, but that's about where it ends, right? It's like they are giants in what they do, but beyond that, it's almost like they don't have their own individual identity. They identify with their credentials, or they identify with their seniority, Like, I'm sure you've probably seen people, even in public places where you go to be serviced, and this individual's probably been working there for a long time, or they've made it known, or you just know them, and that they've been doing this for years and years. So they think that because of that they could treat you in any type of way and talk to you in any kind of way. And people are just naturally going to be okay with that because they have seniority, or, the rules don't apply to them, right? And so you may be working alongside these individuals that you're coming in fresh, right? They do not know you like that. But what they do feel is that your spirit varies from theirs. And they probably see that people take a liking to you. People like the different vibe that you bring to the table. It's a vibe that they lack in. They don't have your vibe. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're just not you, right? They're not you. They don't have your cadence. They don't move like you. So you're going to be treated differently than them. And perhaps they feel like now their toes are being stepped on, or their social standing is being compromised because you just swooped in and you're showing people a different way, a different type of way of moving, a different type of way of giving to the world, a different type of way of doing your work, a different type of way of leading the family, or different views that vary from these groups of people. It makes even the most senior people in that field or in that family, that friend group, whoever's at the top of this hierarchy, it makes them feel intimidated because they've been doing it for a long time. They've been around for a very long time. Nobody else is supposed to have that large of an impact except for them. But here you come, right? And you have that different flair, that different vibe, that different way of moving that they think that somehow you will outshine them. Somehow you will overshadow what they've worked so hard for, and then once again, you have that heart, you have that spirit that they probably don't have. I've witnessed a lot of individuals, right? Though they are esteemed, though they are very successful and been doing whatever they do for a very long time, you can see that they're not very happy. I've encountered a lot of people, especially like doctors, you know, teachers, like people who have been doing jobs for decades. You could tell that maybe there was a love there initially. They used to love what they do. They used to do a really good job. And as the years went by and they gained seniority and more respect, they started to have a decline in the care that they have for what they do. And this is why now we see so many professionals in society who seem to be really unhappy, with the state of their affairs. They don't seem to love life anymore. They don't seem to love their craft. They don't seem to love what they do. And say you're joining that same field or a similar field with the opposite vibrance, you're coming in with a fresh face, a fresh outlook. You have more of a positive look on life that they don't have anymore. And they know with you being this way that it's going to make you very attractive and sought after. They know people are going to like you, people are going to respect you. But then they've been doing it though. They've been doing it for a long time. So why you? These esteemed individuals, they don't have the spirit that you have. And that's what I've noticed over the years dealing with people like this. Dealing with people who they act like there's no space for us to go up as well, or they act like we cannot do what they do, or we can't really do anything that we want to do in general because of the high position that they're in. I notice this a lot in the workplace, and I also notice this a lot in the family, where these hierarchies, right? These self-appointed individuals, it's very narcissistic, I know, but these narcissistic families and narcissistic workplace bosses, the bosses that I'm talking about, you can't tell them anything, you're not allowed to have a different viewpoint, because if you do, you're going to be disrespecting their social standing or their thoughts or their views because they're older than you, or if they've been around longer than you, doing things, taking care of things, holding down the fort. So what can you really bring? But you do bring a different type of energy. You bring a more high vibrating energy to everything that you touch, right? And maybe they've lost the touch. Maybe they've lost the zest for life. And they see that you breathe life into everything that you do, which is something that they cannot do or they can't do anymore. So they feel intimidated that you have that different heart space where you do love humanity, you love yourself, you love the world, you can give a lot to the world, but it's like you don't care about the credentials, or you may not care about the clout, right? A lot of these individuals, they love clout. They love to brag. They love to show off and talk about everything that they've accomplished. But they talk about it in a way where it's a part of their identity. It's almost like they're describing their personality, but it's not their personality. They're just describing their line of work or what they've done. But they made it so that it's a part of themselves or a part of their identity. And so it's kind of like when you come and you have a flair and you have a vision and you have a path, but you're still humble though. Like you don't identify maybe with what you can offer to the world. You just do what you do. And people are intimidated that you just move too smooth, right? that you're too cool the way that you do it, the way you go about it. You don't have to brag, you don't have to show off. You just do what you do. Yeah, Lou says so true. If you go your own way, they talk down on you, call you crazy. Blah blah indeed. We don't care. Are not blind. What are they without the crowd? Right. Mm-hmm. These people are jealous of you because a lot of times, and I've seen this where these people had it harder. Maybe they had a hard, something about their come up was very trying, or that's how they make it to be. And so sometimes people think that we're being disrespectful or ignorant because how we're living life doesn't seem that hard, or it seems like we're not really going through struggles, and it's like disrespecting them because they had to struggle and look at all the accolades they have. You're coming in smiling. That's how they see it. They deduce it to you just smiling and being happy go lucky, being they think that we're naive, but we know what we want and we know who we are. But to them it's kind of like, "Oh, okay. Like who are you?" Right? A lot of these individuals are intimidated by your happiness, by the actual joy that you have taking over your life. And once again, a lot of these people have lost their way. They don't feel the same way about their lives anymore, about the trajectory of their life, their line of work, or being the head of that company. They don't see it as something to respect. They see it as just these individuals, what I'm trying to say, what these individuals feel like is like, they want to be respected by default, right? They want to be respected by default. They don't care about what exactly they're doing. Instead, it's like, I'm a doctor, you got to listen to me, or I'm a cop, you got to do, what I say. And they abuse their position, right? And they start getting maybe jealous if you're the cop that actually cares, or if you're the doctor who is more holistic and you're going against, traditional medicine, things like that. And you actually care, like you care about the patients or you care about the civilians. You're doing it in a different way. They get jealous because they don't have that spirit to care naturally, right? A lot of these people, they don't care, right? All they care about is clout, or all they care about is just being respected by default without having that heart and without having that spirit. You're going to have folks jealous of you. They've been doing this longer than you, right? It could be somebody, I've met people where in college, especially, right? Where they're telling me, "Oh, I went to university, I went to university. I'm just in college now, but I was in university from before." And it's like, okay, like, what are you trying to get at? What are you trying to play at? In their minds, they're so insecure that they think they downgraded from going to university to college, but they're trying to convince us that they're more esteemed, like they're more successful than what it seems. But it's like, why would I care, right? You went to university and then you went to college. I understand why that would be, because in university, as far as I know, the Canadian ones, it's really hard to sometimes get that practical experience when you're in a university program, right? And so colleges in Canada, they offer more opportunities to get that hands-on experience, which is what a lot of employers really enjoy. So some people feel like they took the fall from grace, or they feel they're not humble enough to appreciate their experiences in life. And so when they see you kind of humbly happy with the choices you made, happy with the route you took, they feel like embarrassed that they're not living up to their expectations, or they feel embarrassed. They think that they don't have enough accolades, or they're going backwards. A lot of individuals are upset that maybe you have a simple life, that the life that you're living, it's like you don't have to do too much, or perhaps the life that you are seeking is more of a simpler variety, whereas their life is maybe very chaotic because of whatever they do for work or whoever they have been appointed as. They feel like it's not fair that after all of these accolades and all of the success that they have, and they're very esteemed, very established, that they feel burnt out. They don't feel like they get to enjoy life and live life. They've lost their way. They don't have that happiness. A lot of times they do not have that joy. But then here you come in with that joy, with that flair, with that humble heart, with the love at the forefront. You care about people, you care about yourself, and you're doing what you love to do, and no one's going to stop you. And they feel intimidated because it's like, I don't have a spirit like that. I don't feel that way. Why don't I feel that way? I've been doing this longer than them. Shouldn't I be feeling this elation? Why are they feeling elated? They just came on the team, or they just graduated and just joined this company. I have been here for 20 years. How are they having more of a positive outlook than somebody who has way more accolades, way more years on them? So, it's maybe the life that you live. Maybe it's the simple way that you go about things. Perhaps you don't do too much. You don't need to. These individuals oftentimes will manufacture drama, and they will manufacture competition thinking that you care, right? But you don't care because you're in a league of your own. You're not competing with these individuals, but they feel threatened because you have that genuine heart. They know that you're not with all that. They know you're in it to win it. You're here because you want to be. You're not here because you have to be. You're not here to prove a point. You're not in that workplace. You're not a part of that family dynamic to be accepted or to be praised. You're just doing what you like to do. You're doing what you love to do. And I believe a lot of these individuals, they see the leadership qualities in you as well. They see that you may not be as esteemed or accomplished as they are, but you're going to get there. And I think that bugs a lot of them because they know that it's coming. They know that you will be a giant. You're going to be a leader, or you're already a leader, maybe not on the level, the materialistic, superficial level as they are, but they see that it's manifesting, it's coming, it's brewing. Plus, you have that real spirit. Like, they know it's going to be different from maybe what they've acquired or how they've acquired it, if that makes any sense. These people could have been living in big houses. Now I'm going to talk about the materialistic aspect because this is very important. They could have big houses, big properties, multiple whips, you name it. They have it. They've been having it rightfully. They've worked for it. They have it. It's good. But then you could have been literally in a shack of a house, a dilapidated property, maybe a studio apartment, a bachelor, a small residence. It was okay for quite some time, but you've upgraded though. Why is it that these established people who have 5 properties, 4 whips on the driveway, they have multiple garages, it's like some GTA stuff, like these individuals are esteemed. They have a lot to their name, but they're mad that you moved from a studio apartment to a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, why are they so pressed about that? Why are they so upset that with the little upgrades that you've come into? I've seen this stuff. It's weird. Or they may have multiple degrees. You may have struggled to just finish a diploma, right? But you did it. Why are they trying to diss you on your diploma? These people have degree on degree on degree. You got your little diploma, and now they're looking down on you or think that you shouldn't have that. But why, right? Why? They have a lot of work under their belt. You're getting your little legs up in life, and they feel some type of way, like it's not fair, like they're watching you real hard. They're scrutinizing you for the upgrades that you have, for the blessings that you're coming into, but they've been blessed though. So it's like, what is this? So backwards. I'm telling you, it's the happiness. It's the happiness. It's the joy. It's the way you went about it, Why else would they be upset? They have way more, right? So why are they so pressed about what you've got? Like, why? And a lot of the times, these individuals, once again, they do not have their own separate identity from their worldly possessions, unfortunately. So, some people, if they're very rich, they identify with their money. If it's not about money, they don't want to talk. If it's not about money, they don't want to hear you. They don't want to be associated with you if you're not on that level, right? So, to them, money or wealth is, that's the ticket to be around them. That's what you gotta have in order to be in their good books. So when they see that you're getting your little legs up in life or getting a little bit more money to your name, for example, they feel some type of way because they know that you're okay with that. They know that you're gonna make whatever you can make from what you have. Like, you're resourceful and you're humble with it. And they know that you're genuinely pleased with what you've got and you're confident in what you've been gifted with. So these individuals get kind of like intimidated because they don't have an identity separate from their worldly possessions, but you do. You probably know what it's like to go without. You probably know what it's like to not have everything lined up in a row, but you were humble enough and sure enough and faithful enough that no matter what you got alongside your journey, you were going to make the most of it. That's different. That's different. Or, a lot of people, I'm going to use a marriage example, right? These people, sometimes they have these gaudy celebrations, right? $100,000 wedding, right? Big blowout, everything fabulous, right? Fully catered, open bar, you name it, no expense was spared, right? But then if you decide to have a wedding or a celebration that is more on the frugal side or more on the, more micro, smaller, more, not, I wouldn't say cheaper, but more affordable, more reasonable, people will start looking down on you, acting jealous or acting strange about your choice. Like, why wouldn't you do the whole big thing? Why did you do it like that? That's not right. That's, or that sucks. It sucks that you had to do it like that. But deep down, they're actually jealous though, because they know that you don't care about the wedding itself. The wedding is a 1-day celebration, right? But love, marriage, those vows are supposed to be for life. Right? So when you really love that person that you're with, it doesn't matter about the money or the celebration, the wedding itself. It's the marriage. It's the long standing. Can that stand the test of time? Right? So people start getting jealous that perhaps you are deeper, you have deeper sentiments that you hold dear, different mantras that you live by that perhaps they do not. They identify with their worldly things. So they're not really happy without that stuff. They don't know who they are without that stuff, right? But you know who you are without it, with it, flip it, dice it. You know what's going on within yourself and in your world, right? So it's almost like, people are jealous that you're genuinely happy. What they might be doing does not bring them happiness, but it brings them clout. It brings them wealth. It brings them that life that they want to be living in. It brings them that respect or the illusion of respect because they don't have nothing else going for themselves. Sometimes that's all they have is their degrees and the respect and the years a part of that company. Sometimes that's all they have. But you have so much more. You have so much more going for you that goes beyond the materialistic, worldly ways. And that is to be envied. A lot of people, when they don't know themselves, but they know that you do, it makes them feel insecure because they know all the studying, they know all the work, they know everything they had to do to get what they have right now. But when they look at you, they feel like disconnected from themselves because they never really knew themselves. Unfortunately, we make these expensive mistakes, We make these very, very, very expensive mistakes to floss out, right? To try to make sure that we look the part. We got to look the part for Insta, right? We have to because a lot of people are watching, right? That's how a lot of people move, right? Where If it wasn't for everybody else, they wouldn't do it. If they didn't think people were watching, they wouldn't go so hard. And I think a lot of times people realize at the end of the day, or after, decades later, they didn't do it for themselves. They did it to appease other people. And in the end, nobody really cared. And that's the truth. So when you go about doing what you do, you don't care if anybody has a problem, or you don't care if anybody really has an issue. You're going to do you regardless. You don't do it for the cameras. You don't do it for the gram, for Facebook, for Twitter, for TikTok. You don't do it for these platforms. You don't do it for admiration or recognition. You do it for the love, right? You do it for the love, and it's so simple. Love, right? A lot of people don't have love in their hearts. They have hatred. They have jealousy. They have envy. They don't care about the sentiments. They don't care about what lies beneath all of that worldly fluff. They don't care about that stuff. They care about making a long lasting impression superficially, right? Hoping that a lot of people stay around them, a lot of people respect them. It's an ego thing as well. It feeds their ego to be the boss, to be the main head honcho, to be the one in the family who makes all the decisions. Everybody just says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, right? But it's like they don't have their own, that is their identity, It's dangerous, very dangerous. India says, I actually love taking breaks from social media. I might take too many breaks. I don't blame you. Yep. Yep. Right. Right. Yeah, New Age says rat race. It reminds me of the movie Rat Race. Yeah, the movie, yeah. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fake stuff that I've seen. It's a lot of clout chasing. With social media, it's bound. That's it. With social media being at the forefront of our internet, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, the majority of people I've seen, it's all about clout. There's no love involved. It's just trying to seek admiration for things that are superficial or materialistic in nature. I've had a lot of people trying to diss me, I'll be honest with you. A whole lot of people trying to diss me for the simple way I choose to live my life, or maybe for the ways that I decide to dodge drama and to not be around the crowds, right? A lot of people try to diss to make it seem like I'm losing out on something, but they don't understand that this is what I love. This is what I like. I like that peace. I like a drama-free existence, as much as possible, because life does happen, right? I have tried to share plans and visions and dreams to people who were already very established in whatever it is that they do. And a lot of them, I was met with a cold reception. They moved like they had a problem with me trying to get up in life. But why do you care if you're all, I thought that you would respect that. This is the thing. You think that they would respect it because they've done all the work. They see that you're about to put in that work. They get jealous. They act like it's an offense to them that you would dare to push against the grain and try something new, right? They know that you're on your way to being quite esteemed yourself. They know that you're well on your way of being a respected individual in society. They can see that on you. They know that you're just starting out, perhaps, right? You may not have a lot materialistically to your name. They know, they can see that. But they know that you will and you won't care. You know what I mean? You will and you will not care. Not that you will not be appreciative, but it's deeper than that. Naturally, through your life's work, you're going to get a lot of abundance because through your hard work, you get blessed in many ways. But that did not make you. That doesn't make you into a certain type of person. You just have a lot more to your name because you're a real one. You're doing that work, right? You do not let your materialistic world dictate what your personality is going to be like, or how you're going to treat people out here, right? Or how you're going to talk to people out here. Just because you have a little bit more money in your wallet, it doesn't mean you're going to go out there and treat people like scum, or step on people or spit on people because you're a little bit more esteemed than them, you know? I've been around people too, even like, it's kind of disturbing, but walking downtown or walking in areas that are a little bit more rough, and we see the homeless population, and then they say certain things about these individuals already down on their luck, like, oh, they got themselves there, or oh, they did that to themselves, look at them begging for money, look at them going on the freeway causing traffic issues, trying to beg for money, right? But it's like, let them do what they do. Let them live let them do what they do, right? I mean, are we really that higher than somebody on the streets? I mean, it could be whatever got them there, but that doesn't mean that you're higher than these people. These people could be very successful if they had the resources, right? And maybe they don't have them right now, so we don't see it. They don't look it, right? So it seems like, oh, they don't have it, but they do up here, So we have to definitely show respect to whoever it is, right? It doesn't matter if they have a disability. It doesn't really matter, what type of place they're living in. That's the thing too. People will judge and say, oh, this person is low on life. I'm high in life. They don't matter. I've been around people like that. It makes me feel really uncomfortable being around people who they look down on people who don't have a lot. Materialistically, they don't have a lot going for them. But you don't know that person's heart or spirit. So what are you talking about, right? You don't know what that person... I've heard of doctors on the streets, police officers, homeless. You know what I mean? People who were high in life, down now, right? Unfortunately, down now because of whatever their life circumstances were that led them there. But does that mean that we should look down on them, or that we should forget their accomplishments? Like, I was even watching this one video a few months ago, I would say probably like a year and a half ago, where this woman was like, there's this guy who conducts interviews of people who are on the streets and how they become homeless, how do they become in that position, right? And there was this woman who was a nurse, working as a nurse for decades, right? And unfortunately, she found herself on the streets in less than ideal conditions, right? She wasn't doing too well. She made a lot of poor choices that didn't seem to make any sense given her background, right? But, people are in the position, we should not really look down on people who may not be in physically or materialistically poor positions as society would deem, right? It's just crazy because you never know. Sometimes people who are at the top feel like they can't be put to the bottom, right? They start feeling intimidated. They start feeling scared when new, fresh faces come. You might see these people in your workplace. You might see them where anytime that there's a new recruit on the team, they're extra harsh, extra flamboyant. They behave inappropriately, and they try to come at this new person as though they have to prove something to this individual. Take your accolades and go sit down. They know who they are. They know what they've worked for. Why do you have to come so hard at the new recruit who doesn't even know how the systems work yet? I've been treated like this too. I've been treated like this where, I'd be working in a store and I'm getting attacked by somebody who's been there 12 years, 15 years. And I'll have other workers telling me like, oh, they've been here for quite some time. Why are they moving like that? Why are they acting like that? Why are they coming at me like that? Like they're worried I'm going to take their spot or something. And the thing that's so crazy is I don't want their spot. I'm good with where I'm at. I'm not here to look. I didn't even know that you existed. I'm not. That's the thing. They may have a lot to their name, a lot of clout. But what if you don't care about clout? They may have a lot of whips in their driveway. What if you're happy with just the one you have? Maybe you don't have none. You're happy like that. You're happy with taking transit, taking the subway, biking, walking. Why are these individuals so intimidated by the life that you live, or the grind that you're on, or the climb that you're on? Why are they so worried when they already have it all? But they don't have it all. They're lacking in so many ways, right? They lack in heart and spirit. These individuals think, oh, I struggle, you struggle too. If you don't struggle the way I struggled, then you don't know nothing about nothing. Or people might make you seem weak or insignificant because maybe you are in a similar field to a lot of these people, but you're just starting out and they've been doing that. They don't want you to get to their spot because they see that you have all the elements to do that. They see that it's coming. They see that you will get there. And it's crazy because you don't care about competition, but clearly they do. Once again, they identify with their work or with being the head of that group, whatever group that is. That is their life. That is their identity. They don't know themselves outside of that, because if they did, they'd be more secure around people like you, but they don't move like they're secure. They move like they're insecure, and they're concerned about their lives becoming fragmented because of your position or your proximity to what they've been doing, right? But why? So it's a little bit shocking to know that there can be people in this world who have worked really hard. We're not putting it past them. Like, we're saying what it is. They've worked hard for what they have. They have a lot of accolades, a lot of success under their belt, but still find a way to hate on people around them, thinking that you're going to take their spot, thinking that you're trying to show them up. And all you're trying to do is get your feet wet a lot of the times. It's crazy. Thank you, Dub, so very much. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you guys so much for generously donating by way of super chat. That's really, really kind of you guys. And I'm seeing all the comments here. Let's read some of them right now. Yep. Josh says, remember, the meek shall inherit the earth. Right. Yeah, Antoinette says, been there. Right. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Antoinette says they know they lack something. They lack that heart. They lack that love. A lot of these people, they don't love what they do. They don't like themselves naturally, right? They actually hate themselves a lot of the times, or they hate maybe the way their life has gone. And a lot of times they hate the way their lives have gone because they didn't do it for the love in the first place. They did it for the clout, but clout runs thin eventually. That clout runs, it dries up. Then what? That's why it is vital to know who you are. Yep. Yeah, Josh says projection 101. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy that we could be just doing our thing, doing our thing. We're not trying to trouble anybody out here, but people come, they try to trouble us, they try to press us, and they're already at the top. So what's the issue, right? Let us do what we do. Let us go to our top, right? And they don't want to see that happen, right? And it just goes to show that materials are nothing in this world. It's never that serious, right? Materials aren't really, people will try to make you feel bad about what you've got, but they have more than you. Like, it seems maniacal, right? Aren't you happy with what, like, why are you so pressed about what I don't have, or what I lack in, or what you think I should have? I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy. I'm always being blessed in more ways than you can imagine. And it's not about the material. My mind's right, like when you have your mind right, what can go wrong, right? That's just how I see things. Like a lot of these individuals, I'm sorry to say, but their minds aren't right. You know what I mean? So the materialistic things, it kind of keep them at, it's like taking a sip of medicine, but it's like a materialistic medicine where the worldly things keep them grounded, but it's an illusion. These materialistic things are not your identity. It's just a part of your wealth, you know? Why do people get so upset that about what you have or what you're about to get when they've been having what you're just about to get? Maybe they got what you have decades and decades ago. They could be very, very, very abundant individuals, super concerned, hyper concerned about the little increments of blessings that you might be getting right now. That just seems a little bit backwards. It seems a little bit strange, you know. Why do you watch so hard, or why do you watch so heavy or scrutinize everything that I do? Aren't you happy? A lot of these individuals are not happy. A lot of these individuals do not actually take care of themselves as they make it seem. They make it seem for the gram like they're well groomed and they take care of themselves in these ways, these superficial ways. But the heart, the mind, it's just like rot. You know what I mean? They've neglected their minds and they've neglected taking care of themselves skin deep, you know? And they know that you take care of yourself skin deep. You're not concerned about your position. You're not concerned about lacking. You never lack. You always have what you need. And it's like they never have enough of what they want. Parallels, you know, these are parallels for sure. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to love what you have, love what you do, and do what you do. Because it doesn't matter what you do. There's always going to be a hater or two. And now I feel like Dr. Zeus. But you know, you gotta live life. You have to live life to the fullest. You have to love what you do and love what you have and be proud of how far you've come, you know, and don't let anybody take that experience away from you and try to break it down like it's not significant, like it doesn't matter, because it definitely matters. That's why they move the way they move. It matters. It's huge. They know it's different with you, right? They know this. Dre says, no longer seeking the approval of these haters. I used to be the same way. I was always looking for admiration in the wrong places, and I always came back to the same place, stagnation. That's just what it was. I was stagnant, you know, because I was chasing the wrong things. I was chasing the worldly things as well. You know, like I'm not going to sit here and tell a bunch of tall tales. I was not always on the straight and narrow. That's not me. That's not how I always used to. That's how I used to be. You know, I was very much chasing material, like to seem like I'm okay, to seem like I have everything together, end up right back in the same spot, you know, because you're not taking care of yourself up here. And it happens to the best of us where you get so confused and you get so caught up in the worldly things because you lack an identity or you lack a purpose or you feel like you don't know what you are supposed to do. So maybe if you have a little bit more money or a little bit more clout, it makes you feel like you know who you are because people are looking at you. People are noticing you for your materialistic standing or status, right? So it makes you feel like you're somebody, but you end up right back in the same spot. And that's the thing. And for me, um, I highly encourage all of you to do what you love to do. It's severe to follow the crowd if you don't fit in with the crowd. It's a wrong, you shouldn't do that to yourself, right? Make sure that you are following the beat of your own drum, even if it doesn't bring you everything you want right away. But at least you could say, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm happy with what I'm doing. It may not bring me all the prosperity like this. It may not give me all the things I want to do like this, but It's getting there. I'm building it up. I'm building it from the ground up, and I enjoy it. I love what I do. You got to love what you do. Teach these people a lesson out here in society that it's much better to be fruitful with love, not necessarily with dollar signs. That's cute, right? But you got to be fruitful in love. You got to love. You have to have the hate taken out of your life. You have to let love take over, because a lot of these individuals out here are sad people that do not care. They don't even care about what they've accomplished anymore. They don't care about the hard work they put in. They're just watching their rival now, but you're not their rival. Their rival is themselves. They're losing themselves or losing touch with their identity. It's a fight against themselves, but they needed a target, you know? Maybe they've lost respect, maybe these individuals have lost respect, from their true nature coming out, right? It's like the fall from grace, where they seem like they were on top of the world. So even with these accolades, they don't feel very accomplished anymore. Now they feel like they just, they don't stand out. Did they ever? Maybe they did, maybe they never did. These are delusions that have been created over the years for a lot of individuals. Unfortunately, people who feel like the world is kind of against them, they have a lot to prove. And they go into these different ventures, or they decide they're going to be the head of the family to give them an identity of being in control, someone powerful, someone to be respected. But under all those layers of superficiality and theatrics, they're still the same person, broken and unaware, unsure of who they are to the core. For sure. And these are my opinions, by the way. These are completely my opinions, right? I'm not suggesting that everybody who I'm describing, this is their tale, right? But I have seen situations where these people are very successful in their own right, and they hate on any new man, any new woman, any new person to the family. It could be any situation where you're added now, you're adding a new different flair. You're the new one in town. Or now people are noticing you now in the family, that you have the leadership skills, or you have a different flair that the head honcho does not have, right? You're being noticed for the individual that you are, that real gem. You are a gem. You do what you do, and it's lovely to do what you do and love what you do. And don't get tricked into the world of materialism, because things aren't always what they seem. And the thing about materialism and superficiality, it's only on the surface. What's more to you? You know what I mean? What's more to you? You have to be deeper than that, right? A lot of these individuals, unfortunately, they're not deeper than their degrees and their cars and their houses. That's it. That's all you get from them. That is it, right? Finito. So if you're looking for more from these people, you're going to reach a dead end. You're not going to get past the superficiality, right? Or the arrogance of it. The individuals who think that, they're well respected, you don't got to know nothing, have nothing else from them. They're up, and you better respect it. They worked hard. They're doctors, they're scientists, or whoever. You better respect it by default, right? Because they're esteemed. But then when you come in the picture with a different flair, with the right heart, with the right mind, now you're the one that's intimidating these people who are very, very accomplished, jealous, because they know you have the heart and you should be in their spot. A lot of these individuals, they believe you should be in their spot. I'm sure a lot of people look at you and like, oh my God, he should be the boss. You should be people may have approached you thinking that you were the boss, thinking that you were the supervisor, because how you're coming across, right? Because of how you speak, how you conduct yourself, and how much you care, because that's the quality, that is the quality, right? That they're supposed to have. They're supposed to care, right? It's wild. You show people that there is still good people out here. There's still people out here who do things for the right reasons. And you're showing people, you're showing society, your family, your workplace. There are people who are genuine. There are people who do things because they want to, not because they have to. And there are people who are willing to start from the bottom to go all the way to the top humbly. You're teaching people that you're in a class of your own, right? And there's something priceless about that. People get to experience you in all aspects of your life, to where they work so hard for everything. They tried so hard and they're accomplished. They have all the houses, all the cars, all the money, but no identity, no love attached to their character, no real love for humanity. Just the love of the illusion of that, just the allure. They don't really live that life, but you do. So you're going to be hated on by even people at the top dogs, because you have the heart. They don't have it. They know it's attractive. They like it as well, but they hate on it as well. They hate that you love yourself and that you genuinely do enjoy life. You love it. And you're not willing to stop. I would say that God is very good. And what I will also say is that whatever is meant for us will continue to be given to us, and what is not meant for us will be expunged from our existences. That's what I could really say. That's what I truly believe, that it's not all the time where the ventures that we seek are the ventures that are supposed to be for us. We're being highly protected from the harm that infiltrates or attempts to infiltrate our paths, right? So we got to remain steadfast, remain true to ourselves. You're going to be looked down on by the people at the top. And not because of proximity, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Because somebody can be at the top and they're and they're looking down on you, not because of the natural positions that you guys are in, boss versus salesperson, but because they're at the top and you're at the bottom, but you should be at the top. They don't see you at the bottom, but they want to make it seem like you're at the bottom. But they know that you're actually on the same level as them. And that's at the minimum. You know what I mean? If you catch what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Abigail says, I'm grateful for what God has given me. Everything I have come from God. Yep. And Radio Soul, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. You said, who motivates the motivators? You do. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your kind words. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Sometimes the only people that we have to motivate is ourselves, ourselves, like just dealing with life. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader, your own. And even when I was trying to seek support from people that I knew, people that I know, it's almost like it came at a cost, or it was never genuine, or it would be rescinded. It was never just free. There was always a condition, a stipulation. And I got sick and tired of that. I decided that if I wanted to be living my best life, I had better do it, and I had better coach myself. You know what I mean? And I know what I've been through, and I know what I don't want to go through. So it's like your life experiences sometimes is one of the few teachers you have to tell you, you got to go a different way. You have to go a different way. If you want to stay up, if you want to continue that climb, you got to go a different way. And, a lot of people are going to say, hey, go down that cliff. Go down. They know there's a cliff there. You may not know. You may be uncertain. They know there's a cliff down there, and they will see you drop off that cliff, because they think that's going to bring about your demise. But what they don't understand is you can swim. You know what I mean? Or, or it wasn't really that bad of a fall. You know what I mean? Where you were able to get right back up. And now you conquered the situation. Now you're well equipped to know, I got to be careful when I do these things, or I got to be wary, or I got to be mindful, or perhaps take extra precautions, protect myself a little better. They don't understand that we deal with these life circumstances with as much poise as possible, keeping in mind the lessons we learned are helping us to make better choices today, right? She 2000 says my whole family turned on me when I started standing 10 toes down. You're going to have people acting like they don't know you, right? Even your kin, even your blood people, your blood folks, they're going to start acting like they don't know you from a can of paint because now you're taking a stand, deciding to be the driver of your own life and no longer a passenger, right? Yeah, Flippy says self-victim complex. Right. Yep. Trav says they are mad because God's hand is on us and his light shines brighter. Absolutely. Yep. Hey, Miss B, hope you're doing awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here, all of you. Geotica says they must belittle us to satisfy their big ego. We are motivated from within due to inner work, and whatever this life has cultivated for us from within, it can be very frustrating without the inner. Oh, for sure. It has to be deeper. It has to be deeper. It has to be what we don't see on the outside. There always has to be something deeper, right? That's why when people hate on you, you may not have everything lined up in a row. They might materialistically, but maybe heart wise and mindset wise, they're severely lacking in these departments. For sure. Miss B says that happened to me. LOL. I got a used Chrysler and everybody stopped speaking to me at work. Yeah. They might have the Vipers. They might have the Lambos. They may have the really, really flashy, nice whips. But you've upgraded to a used vehicle, something a little less worn down. Now they all are up in arms. Why? When they have that Viper sitting in something, one of the Bentley or something, right? Why are they comparing themselves to you? Don't they have it all? Aren't they satisfied? That's why you cannot do things for clout. When you get things, it's real and you actually are respectful of the resources you have, right? So not everybody's like that though. Not everybody respects the blessings they have. Instead, they misuse it. Like there's an abuse here that comes into play. Mm-hmm. I hear you. Yep. Antoinette says they don't like ambition either. When you have that drive, when you have the inkling to push the envelope a little bit further, that alone will get you a lot of haters. Yeah, Mickey says material things will not last, but the soul will live forever. Yep. And that's what they feel. And that's what they know. That you will always be known as somebody who was a real one. But will they? Yep. So, yeah. Josh says, good. That's more lessons to help people overcome. Right. I hope you guys continue to get everything that you guys desire in this world. I hope you guys continue to elevate yourself and don't see any reason to slow down. There's no slowing down now. You're already going up, right? So keep on that climb. On that climb, as you get more blessed or getting your feet wet or whatever it is that you're pursuing, you're going to see a lot of these people been doing this, been living life, been getting a lot, jealous of your little increments or jealous of something that they would look down on naturally. And they might actually openly look down on what you've acquired, but there's a jealous element here to what you have and to, what you own or what you've come into, not because of the materialistic aspect anymore. It's because it's you. It's you that has it. It's you. Like, for some reason, because it's you that has something else that they wish they could have. Sometimes they just wish they could be more humble like you, more respected. They know that you're about to get very respected. They know that you're about to get higher in life, but you're going to be humble with it. You're not cocky with it. You're not arrogant, and it's not a part of your identity. You know who you are, and you're cemented in these facts, but then you also know what you want. They're not the same. They're not the same. You are able to differentiate who you are with what you've come into. You're more humble. There's a balance here with you. And individuals know when it comes to you, there's no realer than that. There's nobody like you. And you're showing people that you could be yourself and still go up. You don't have to have everything lined up. You don't have to have everything perfect in your world. So long as you're happy and you have that peace, you're blessed. You are blessed, even if you're not in the place, the dwelling, the driving situation, the neighborhood, whatever it might be. You may not have all of your things lined up in a row materialistically or superficially, but boy, is your heart warm. Boy, is your mind right. All these things add richness to your life, and no money can buy that. No clout could trump that, So keep loving life, living life for the right reasons, Go up in life and do what you want for the correct reasons. Correct as they apply to your life is what I mean. Always make sure that you stand 10 toes down and don't let anybody intimidate you out here and make you think that you don't deserve your accolades because they think that they have more than you, they're older than you, so by default, you should be down, they should only be up, and that's how it's going to be. No. There's space for you too. There's space for you to elevate too. There's space for everybody, but not everybody has that heart. Not everybody's humble like you. Not everybody cares. Sometimes it's just that element of care. A lot of people just don't care in this world. They just don't care about anything and anyone. So even if they're very esteemed and very accomplished, it's like, to what end? Why does it matter anymore, when they've lost the love of it, when they've lost the spirit of optimism? Why? Why would it matter? That's why they see these paper credentials become and feel insignificant. The cars in their driveway collecting dust. The houses, the big mansions, all the properties they have, it's just not hit. It doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel like home, because it's not home. It's feeding their ego. It's feeding their ego. It's not, the joy is not there. Happy home or well-adorned house. What is it? It's not always what it seems. And that's why you got to make sure, don't make anybody make you feel no type of way because maybe materialistically you vary from the rest and it seems like it's bad or it seems like it's not good enough, right? I'm sure you've assessed the situation and you've probably decided it's good enough for you. If it's not their cup of tea, lucky for them, they don't live your life. They don't have to. They're in their own lane. Aren't they happy already? Don't they have it all already? And that's the thing. They know that you have it all, even if you don't have it all. Because having it all is skin deep. It's up here, it's in here. That's what having it all really symbolizes with individuals like yourself. that it was never about the clout or the materialistic things. They know you by now. They know you don't care, but heart wise and mind wise, there's no tampering with you. And no matter where you are in this world, no matter if you go backwards, forced backwards, have to start over again, you probably are joyous about this and feel pretty thrilled about it because you know that you're going to be happy and you're going to have that peace. And nothing trumps that, So always do things with happiness and peace at the forefront. Never let anything in your world compromise these simple elements that a lot of people actually hate on because they don't have it, They may have everything else in this world, but they don't have the happiness and they don't have the peace. They have chaos, they have hatred, they have jealous spirits, they have negative vibes, they have poor outlook on life, and they hate on everybody that doesn't, and that's all it takes is for you to see things in a different way, for you to have more of a little hop to your step, for these esteemed individuals to feel some type of way about you. And at the end of the day, don't lose the love for what you do. And if you feel like you do or you are, it may not be for you. It may not be something for you. When something is for you, you will know. And you probably will not stop at anything until you fulfill what you feel compelled to fulfill, right? Even if it doesn't bring you everything materialistically that you desire, it brings you that happiness and it brings you that peace. And that's two beautiful elements that we all should really protect here is your happiness and peace. Because people, there's no telling what they'll do to compromise that, to try to destroy the happiness and peace. You could be out the way. You're not even caring about the clout. But these individuals want you to be pressed. They want to press you about your happiness and peace to make you feel like that's not enough. But maybe for you, it really is. You don't need nothing else because you're always being provided for and in the most prominent ways through happiness and peace. These are like pillars in your life. A lot of people are jealous of your happiness and peace. A lot of people are jealous that maybe you take a simplistic approach and you do not have the chaos and drama that has overgrown in their lives. It's been taken over, right? They no longer have control or reins over their life because it's like the clout or the materialistic things that they sought in this world, they lose their appeal. Even the degrees sometimes lose their appeal. It's just not hitting, But then it's because they are void of happiness and peace. They're not happy, and perhaps their lives are very chaotic. And it's not to say they can never get these elements on track, but they're so deep into the materialistic worldly things, it might take them a little bit longer to appreciate and cultivate happiness and peace. Like, it's not going to be an instantaneous thing that they decide that they need to do. Sometimes it takes time because they're so deep into the wrong end of things, right? Yep. Miss B says, people hate to see you happy. I don't know why. It's because they're not happy. They're not happy themselves, That's all it takes is for people to see that you're genuinely really thrilled about life. You really love life. You really love to live your best life. And despite their accomplishments, they are not living their best lives because they don't know themselves, like they're lacking in self-worth and self-identity. They're jealous that you don't have these issues, you don't have these problems. You're not plagued with these trying circumstances. these issues. So you definitely want to be careful of falling victim to what society wants you to be, or these tit for tat games that are meant to keep us stagnant and under the control, or when people try to make it seem like we don't deserve the spot that we're in. We got to be very careful. We got to be very careful because we know why we're doing it. We know why it matters. We know why we care. And we have to stay on that for sure. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I was on here for a little longer, but I'm happy to do it. And, I want to say thank you guys for showing interest in the Mindset Elevator, and just being massive supporters and helping the channel grow is so appreciated. To those who donated generously by way of super chat, thank you guys so much for all the likes and the watches and the all the commentary here. I really appreciate you guys just sharing your views, right? And sharing your views not only with me, but with everybody here. It's very enriching. Thank you guys. Yep. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you guys so much for sharing all your thoughts and sharing your opinions and your stories, Thank you guys. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for all the new faces and the ones that have been here for quite some time. I see. I know. All right, guys. So enjoy the month of November for sure, 2024. 2024 is coming to an end, right? But with that comes just more opportunities for more blessings, for more work, for more elevation, right? So let's take that. Let's enjoy that. Enjoy that. Revel in 2024. Enjoy it. Push it. Enjoy it. Live life. Live life. You got to live life. You got to enjoy life. And no matter how hard life gets, you got to see the gray areas too, right? Always enjoy everything that life has to offer. Don't sell yourself short or put yourself as a wallflower because the esteemed people feel some type of way. You got to make sure that you're living life. You got to live life. You have to try your best, and when you do, you're going to get to the top. It's not debatable. It's not debatable. It cannot be stopped by anybody, no matter how jealous or envious or upset people get. It is yours. It's coming. And no man is going to stop it, right? They'll stop themselves quicker than they stop you, right? And that's what I've seen. These patterns, from these people who are wayward and they don't focus on themselves, right? Focus on you and keep going up, everybody. Focus on you. Stay on that. Love life. You must, because that is the incentive to keep going and to keep pushing when you actually have a genuine love for life. If you don't love life, then, and that's how a lot of people are. They don't love life, so this is how they move, like this. They don't care, so definitely always keep that care and cultivate the life you want to live, for sure. Cultivate that life and stay on your truth. And don't let anybody intimidate you. Don't let anybody stop you, right? Live life to the fullest. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Thank you for watching the stream. I really appreciate it, guys. And I'm wishing the best for each and every single one of you. Keep going up, everybody. I love you all. Take care. Smile. Smile. And I'll see you guys soon for sure, okay? Take care. Bye, guys. Take care.